Those that have got caught in the act, what happened next? In the middle of doing the deed when in walks my GF's mom. She is carrying a stack of folded clothes. Casually says sorry kids don't mind me, puts the laundry down on the dresser and casually strolls out. My GF had no problem with this, but my penis sure did. I was getting a blowjob outside a bar in an alley by a hot but crazy AF Australian chick one time back when I was in the military, made awkward eye contact with a drunk dude who went to go pee. Then he just walked away like a bro and she continued. What a bro. One time we were doing it in my dorm room bed, and my roommate came in. We were under covers and I was on top. My roommate was just like, oh I'm sorry. But I don't think she realized what we were even doing because she got into her lofted bed and did stuff on her computer for like 10 minutes. Then she left the room. It was weird. I got a Snapchat from my roommate of me and the girl I was with. He'd sent it to a few of our other friends as well, and then the girl kicked my roommate in the dick. Pretty funny all around if you ask me. A couple years back, my then girlfriend rented 2 rooms in a hotel with a massive water park attached to it. We somehow beat everyone there when driving, check in, and change into suits to go swim. Well, tried to. We change out of clothes, but never back in. We go out as everyone, about 8 people in total discleating us, get in the room, conjoined rooms. My one friend opens the door to me railing and choking my then girlfriend, possibly mid-slap to the face. She turns around leaving the door wide the duck open and said, "You owe me $5, told you they'd be ducking," to someone else. My then girlfriend's sister then said, could you close the door please? Got up, closed the door, said we'll meet them down in the pool, and continued to duck. Teenage adventures in the car. Cops got us right as things were getting heavy, had enough warning from the headlights to at least cover ourselves up a bit. They just laughed and laughed while we put our clothes back on. Shook their finger, said we were breaking curfew, and they were glad there was a condom wrapper. Last year, I had a friend over and she was enjoying her first time, when my sister decides to come in unannounced. She quickly left and nothing more was said. A few months later, she sends me a text while I'm out not to come in without ringing the doorbell first. I went to the back door, unlocked it, and swung it open, and I could hear her in the other room scrambling to cover herself. Then I just walked out. My roommate walked past out of sight, asking where his pan was, then casually said, "Oh yeah, don't have sex on my couch." Then made me disinfect it the next day. I felt bad, but he didn't seem to care too much. This one time I snuck into a girl's house around 0200 because she told me that she was incredibly horny. It took a lot of ninja-like skills because her house was small and you could hear a whisper through the walls. When I finally got there and into her room, boy was she ready. We proceeded to make out. Next thing you know, I started to rub and touch her and all the naughty bits. I remember thinking, damn, she is really wet. And noting that this moisture was thicker than usual and had a distinct iron smell to it. I lifted my hand to smell and got a definite whiff of something wrong. I turned on her lamp and looked at my hand. It was covered in blood. I let out an audible "what the fuck?" Next thing I know, her dad and 2 brothers are in her room and giving me the most intense stare down I've ever experienced. I was going to say, "It's not what it looks like, sir," but they had already caught me red-handed. So it was freshman year of college, and my GF lived on campus. She and I were hanging out with her best friend, one of my good friends. My GF and I jokingly suggested that we had sex before we went out. Our friend was like, "Yeah, that's cool, I'll just sit in the corner with my headphones in and read," being entirely serious. So my GF and I are down, so we start having sex, female friend in the room, alpha as fuck. About 5-10 minutes in, her roommate walks in with 2 friends to see us doing the nasty with our friend in the corner. Was pretty awkward for her roommate. No shame, though I felt bad for the girl and her friends. Caught shagging my girlfriend's sister by my girlfriend who heard us and wanted to catch her out as her sister was so shy and reserved. She was slow motion shocked when she saw me. It was the best and worst day of my life.
Dad walks into my room and busts me and my BF at the time having relations. Made worse by the fact that I was bent over, school skirt up over my ass, and getting banged doggy style.
Got caught getting a blowy from my girlfriend by her father, who was a good friend of mine before I started dating his daughter. I never returned to the house again. My mom came home to our old farm property to find my ex-stepdad porking his girlfriend in the front yard. On their 35th wedding anniversary. She called the cops and had them both removed. One of my co-workers ran into her then-boyfriend's house to get her phone charger before work. She walked into his bedroom and found him in bed with another woman. She then took a picture of them in bed, and sent it to his mother. My fiancée dragged me to a jewelry store to pick out possible wedding rings. She took off for her place later that night because she had to work brunch the next day. She lived a little over an hour away. I took the next day off of work and decided to surprise my fiancée by showing up at her place at about 8:30 in the morning. I walked in on my fiancée laying naked, spread eagle, on the bed. She was masturbating enthusiastically while a 56-year-old dude was arched over her ducking her face. Evidently she had brought him home from the bar the night before. She was 26 at the time. When I said, "What the duck's going on here?" her response was, "Oops, busted." Long pause. "How long have you been standing there?" Hope you have enjoyed these 16 stories. Let us know how you like it in the comments. And have you ever been caught in the act? How did it go?